Okay. You there? All right, so we're gonna do this and we're just gonna post it after. It's just gonna be a thing today. Because for whatever reason, it's not giving me the options it was given me 2 days ago. So like I tested it with Angela and everything beforehand, and now it's giving me issues. So I'm not sure what the thing is.
I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I have happen with Zoom all the time. So
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Angela to do the Zoom recording. Hi, welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Melinda.
And together we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships and empower each other, improving health and wellness of the community, body, mind, and soul. Welcome. Today's guest is Angela Wallace. Angela, say hello.
Hi.
I am
and my very special co-host today is Melinda, filling in for Heather. Thank you, Melinda.
Yes. And filling in for my voice in silence.
We are going to get right into it this morning. We are working with what is today. And we are going to start out with today's meditation, coming from Meditations from the Mat by Rolf Gates and Katrina Kensington. It is a very nice little book here. I'm going to go ahead and start reading. You guys are welcome to listen along. And I want you guys to really take a moment to and think about what we are looking for, right? So today's quote is, "Burning zeal in practice, self-study, and study of scriptures and surrender to God are the acts of yoga." E.K.S. Iyengar. The Yoga Sutras outline a plan for living that flows from action to knowledge to liberation. This plan or path has 8 limbs, which work more like spokes on a wheel than like steps on a ladder. The first 4 limbs, the limbs of tapas, or spirituality in action, included here are the yamas and the niyamas, or the 5 mortal restraints and 5 observances of yoga. The yamas and niyamas are akin to the 10 commandments and are the true foundation of the yoga student's life. The next 2 limbs are tapas and asana and pranayama. So tapas is like the fire, asana is posture and movement, and pranayama is breath. The postures and yogic breathing. The yamas and niyamas, asana and pranayama all combine to form our path of action as we deepen our practice. They are actions taken or not taken with our bodies. The yamas and niyamas bring us into right relationship with ourselves, others, and the spirit of the universe. The asana refine our bodies, deepen our awareness of the senses, and enhance our powers of concentration. In pranayama, we develop control over the flow of our breath, thereby entering into a dance with our life energy. These 4 practices refresh the body, refine the mind, and bring peace to the heart, allowing us to meet the pressures of life with equanimity. The next 2 limbs of the 8-limb path are called svadhyaya, or self-study. They are pratyahara and dharana. Pratyahara literally means turning inward. The mind withdraws from the senses of perception. In the stillness of pratyahara, dharana, or concentration, can be developed. The light of our awareness can begin to shine on our soul. The deepest form of connectedness is now possible. Dhyana and samadhi form the final spokes of the wheel and comprise the limbs of Ishvara, the final frontier, the surrender of the individual self to the universal self. Dhyana is meditation, and samadhi is union with the objects of meditation. The state in which meditation is no longer necessary, in which we re-experience our primal oneness. We come home. The 8 limbs are a map, but in yoga, as in life, the journey is more important than the destination. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they say that we must be willing to grow along spiritual lines. And that is really all that is necessary as we undertake a yoga practice. We must simply remain open to our own spiritual potential and be willing to take action on our own belief. As the days go by, we will examine each aspect of the 8-limb path in turn. Together, we will experience the great adventure, the only adventure, the journey from darkness into light. Let's take a couple minutes and just breathe and let it in. Let that sink in. It's a journey from darkness into light. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's take one more nice big deep breath in. And exhale slow. And let's talk about that for a second. Ladies, do you have any input to or questions about that particular passage today?
Actually, I was thinking about this workshop that I did a while ago, and I was thinking about when we were learning about the 8 limbs, being deliberate in our thought process, and instead of carelessness and going with, I'm trying to think of the correct words, and maybe you can help me find it. Instinct versus and like longing and like lust versus the idea of
Attachment
deliberately
versus
choosing the path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Attachment
so.
versus
So the example.
consciousness.
Holy shit! No, but hold on, just a second.
All right, Angela.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't know, how much experience I have with all this stuff, but it's a lot that I'm learning of just that deliberate thinking, myself. I've grown a lot in this year of changing my mindset and looking at things differently and realizing that's a choice, that you can choose that, and be deliberate, like she was saying. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, choice, deliberateness, the fact that we choose to do things to better our lives on a constant basis. We never want to really stay right where we're at. We have a passion for growth. We have a passion for learning new things, and that is all part of yoga.
Yeah,
that desire to be more, that desire to do more is huge. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to today's Yoga Sutra. So today we are on chapter 2 of the Path of Yoga Sutras from Nikolai Bachman. And today's sutra word, or today's Sanskrit word, is chitta. Okay, heart, mind, field of consciousness. Our quote today is, "The power of the universe will come to your assistance if your heart and mind are in unity." Lakota saying, passed down from White Buffalo Calf Woman. We are all conditioned by our experience. Whenever we see, hear, taste, smell, touch, feel, think, speak, or act, our heart and mind are affected. It is our heart-mind field that accepts sensory input from outside, processes it, integrates it into ourselves, and remembers, ruminates, and directs the delivery of thoughts, words, and actions. The heart-mind stores our experiences, including emotions, in memory, and over time uses this information to construct an identity that defines who we think we are. Chitta is our heart mind, our outer and inner psyche, and the primary place of interest in the Yoga Sutras. Our heart mind sits between the ever-changing outside world and an inner light of awareness. This inner light never changes, and it represents pure, unconditional love. A heart mind sullied with mental emotional baggage prevents the inner light from shining through, causing us to act or react according to our deep habitual patterns of behavior. As the heart mind is clarified, more light can shine through it, and our actions become more loving and positive toward others and ourselves. One of the core aspects of yoga is the process of clarifying the heart mind, chitta prasadana, so external objects are perceived accurately and truthfully. The chitta consists of an outer mind, inner mind, ego, and memory. Each component serves as a specific purpose, and all of them working together determine how we interact with the world. Our inner light of awareness, or Purusha, resting in stillness, witnesses the operations of the heart mind. The Purusha illuminates the chitta, and the chitta interacts with external objects and events. The chitta is the middleman between what is outside of us and the Purusha. It is the medium through which perception passes on, which our inner light of awareness shines. Our chitta is conditioned during our lifetime. Our personality is based on our innate genetics overlaid by all that we have experienced. Whenever we have an experience, it creates an immediate impression that is stored as memory in our chitta. The stronger the impression, the stronger the memory. Over time, these memories program our chitta, and we develop opinions, biases, prejudices, and habitual behavior patterns, or samskaras, that can make us set in our ways. Our ego is built along the way, giving us a healthy self-esteem, insecurity, or an arrogant self-centeredness. Because of this conditioning, each person forms his own unique worldview. So the same object or event may be experienced differently from person to person. When the chitta is clear, we perceive objects and events accurately, exposing ourselves to reliable sources of information, or pramana, causes truthful memories to be stored. On the other hand, when we believe misleading ideas or outright lies, then our memory can become flawed, even if the chitta is clear. Positive and truthful memories support similar thoughts and emotions, or vrittis, while negative, harmful memories contribute to detrimental ones. All perception and action create impressions in our memory that can affect our subsequent perception and action. Deep patterns cause our chitta to become biased in one direction or another, and distracted by the resulting chatter happening there, vrittis. The presence of distracting activities, thoughts, ideas, and baggage is what blocks us from experiencing our inner light of awareness. The chitta will be influenced by whatever it is exposed to or focused on. Those around us influence our personality and vice versa. Being around helpful and positive people who uplift us will provide support and promote happiness, while keeping negative and critical company brings us down. A strong, charismatic personality can compel others to follow, even if it is unhealthy or harmful. For example, many girls will dress like the most popular girl in school. Dressing in any other way may be looked down upon and ridiculed. Conforming to what others deem acceptable is very easy and painless, yet restricts free thinking and individuality for all but the leaders. In college, fraternity brothers will play drinking games that are downright life-threatening just to fit in. Parents serve as models for their children who spend much of their time following them. Yoga, because it is focused so much on developing our inner mind rather than keeping up with our outer names and forms, is all about independent thinking. Many years of meditation clear and polish our chitta to the point where our perceptions are clear and our thoughts, words, and deeds are positive and beneficial. Purification and clarification of chitta or chitta prasadana is the primary result of yoga practice and leads us to connection with our divine inner light of awareness. It is important to understand what the chitta is, how it works, and what we can do to refine and clarify it in order to register our experiences truthfully. We can transform our heart-mind field of consciousness by engaging in the practices described in the Yoga Sutras, such as the 8 limbs of yoga. Over time, our communication will improve and misunderstandings will diminish, leading to more enjoyable social interactions, inner happiness, and a closer connection to our inner light of awareness. Wow, that's heavy, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
heavy. So the heart mind is the center of consciousness, right? And I understand the chitta is the link between external objects and the inner light of awareness. So it's stuff outside of us versus stuff inside of us, right?
Okay.
Think of yourself in broader terms as if you were a citizen of the world instead of limited to your particular local culture. What might you do differently if you were free to act and not bound by conformity?
Isn't that the question right now? Like every day when we go outside and we're faced with so much different input than we've ever faced in our whole lives. Like
Right.
I was under the distinct impression like that this was like not gonna happen in my lifetime, that it had happened like in my mom's lifetime. And we were all okay now. Sorry, I don't know where I am here.
Yeah.
But I think that actually really resonated with me, if you don't mind me saying, because I'm watching this baby decide if she's going to walk or not. And I was thinking about what you were saying and how poignant that was with that.
Mhm.
Your first steps, and they are outside of yourself. And that is where it really clicked for me, what you were saying. That experience she's learning from and identifying what's going to happen and deciding what her legs are going to do. And
Mhm.
that's the outside of herself experience that herself is experiencing. And I think it's really good timing to hear you read that
Yeah.
at the same moment.
Really
perfect.
cool.
That is
It
very
really
cool.
is.
Yeah, it really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? How much we have an effect on those little people in our lives, on those that we're close to, on those that, you know, we talk to on a regular basis, and what an impact we can have on this community in this way, doing this broadcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty cool. Angela?
Yeah, it's so funny that this was brought up today because I was just talking about something like right in this realm this morning, you know, and so much of the influence in the outside world and the perceptions that people have or the assumptions that they make, judgments that they make, all because it's what's been put in their head by somebody else, you know.
Mhm.
And I've done a lot of work this last year of like getting away from that, like steering, you know, not, you know, going against the grain, but in a good way, like not to, you know, not just be rebellious, but to like have my own thought and be like, you know, I can do this differently just because somebody else thinks differently, you know, like you're so programmed to think what everybody else thinks or worry about what people think, you know, and the truth is nobody's going to judge you no matter what, you know, no matter what you do. So be happy with what you're doing and what feels right for you. And that's what I'm trying to instill in my children. I mean, there's always going to be judgment. This world, they're growing up as kids in such a crazy time right now that I never thought as well that we'd ever have to do. I mean, we knew things were bad, but like it's getting kind of crazy. But yeah, wanting them to have that outlook, you know, I don't want to program anything into their head to think a certain way. You know, you need to look in yourself and see what feels right to you, you know. And I think more of us go against that and don't trust that, you know, because we think that's wrong, you know.
Right. And how weird is it for us to come up in a world with a certain point of view and a certain thing, and then as we get older, we're like, wait a second, that's not right. That's not fair. That's not kind. And then we have to reprogram ourselves with a different way of thinking, because where our hearts are at and where our mind is at is totally different. So your heart mind field of consciousness That's where you feel that. Okay, I have another question here. Think of times when you changed your mind, replacing what you thought before with something completely different. How did this change affect your worldview? Did you make the change instantly, or did you consider it carefully before making it? Did you make this change as a result of a shift from within, or influence from someone or something outside of yourself? If someone or something outside yourself convinced you to change your mind, what might that person or thing have to gain by your change of mind? Wow, these are some good questions, right? Okay, so let's go with the first one. Think of a time when you changed your mind, replacing what you thought before with something completely different. How did this change affect your worldview?
Yeah, I've had probably a lot of that in this last year and a half. I've really gotten into more, I got out of a bad relationship and was trying to really get back to finding myself, and if I even knew what that looked like, because I don't think for a while that I ever let me know what that was. I kind of probably conformed a lot to what was around me. And I did have influence helping that along to see a different way, so I'm much more attracted to, like, this makes sense, like this feels right, this is where I'm supposed to be kind of feelings. So yeah, and I think it still goes back to being influenced in a different way, not in a way like you should think this way, but more of like, here's another idea for you kind of way. Not that they benefit in any way, it's just, helping out somebody else live their truth, basically. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like I've more coming into. It's been a process, but it's funny, the more that situations come up, the more that light bulb goes out, or goes off for me more and more, that I'm like, wow, I see and think so differently about this type of situation again than I had, and so much more clarity. And yeah, it's a very empowering feeling.
It sure is. It sure is.
And it's always a work in progress, I mean, our world around us can make us, harsh sometimes, and not, in our best selves. And then we have to check ourselves again and remember who we are, and, what we want.
Right. Right. And I've caught myself with everything going on in the world around us being negative and bitter for like no reason other than the fact that it angers and upsets me, but being able to say, you know what, that bothers me because of this, but I don't have to take that out on anybody else around me. I can deal with that within myself, has been huge for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Melinda?
That's super hard for me right now.
Yeah.
I don't have any hands, so I can't get my video back, but I have thought of a lot of things while you ladies were talking, and I just really relate to so much of it. I think from the time I got, I don't know, I can't even tell you what year it was, but it was a couple of years ago. I don't think I was really myself at all. And I think just one day, and I don't know that someone necessarily did something to make me change my mind or notice that, but it happened, and it sure allowed me to regain my worldview as I had it once before. Like, I think there's a time in our lives where we're our most pure, idyllic selves, right? Mentally, maybe not physically, but we think we've got it all down. And then we decide or find out that we don't have it all down. And then we conform. Oh, everybody else must know, and that is definitely where I was. Everybody else must know better than me. That's what they're all saying. I need to like curl up and hide.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was doing it, and now looking back, I think, oh my gosh, that's so sad. What? And I can remember a couple of friends telling me along that ride, you're just not yourself anymore. And then they weren't friends with me anymore.
Wow.
But I don't know. I can't say that I know the exact moment, but I sure understand what it feels like on both sides of it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I have this really good friend that years and years and years ago, when our children were little, we had a lot of long heart-to-heart discussions about life and things and love, and how we love our kids and everything else, and how people love other people. That I used to be very churchy, very conservative, and a lot of my mindset has changed because I love people, other people love people, and I'm okay with people loving who they love for who they are, as opposed to trying to fit into some kind of social hierarchy box. And so with that, this friend of mine, Melinda, you might know her because she's you, helped change my perspective for the better. And I'm so thankful for that, because it helped me become a better person. It helped me become a better mom. And it helped me be able to accept and love people more for who they are. So thank you for that. I made you cry. I'm sorry. I love you.
It's okay. I remember you had this dream. I hope it's okay if I won't go into detail,
Go
but you
ahead
had
and
a
share.
dream, and you and I had not been talking in a while, and it wasn't because anything happened. It was just because life. And I really super shut down when Gabe got his diagnosis. I wanted to hide. But you wrote me this letter, and it was all of that you already knew, kind of,
Yeah.
about being totally accepting. And I cried so hard because I remembered all of our conversations.
Over the years.
And I, with you, I got like super brave. Yeah, over the years, I got super brave telling you all the things. And granted, I want to say, like, side note, a lot of our conversations were late at night and I was drinking. Now that meant the only time I was super authentic is when I was inebriated. And that's just a lovely thought, but it was true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink anymore, but, oh, thank you for Guitar Hero. I find it more interesting now that I kind of have congruent thoughts about who I am and who the people are around me. And I don't have to I don't have to have a glass of wine in order to just be myself and let that be an excuse for that to come out.
Right.
I think it's a real interesting
Right.
paradigm that we all often face. If you guys are thinking this, please, gals. I always say guys, and I remember once in college, this like cafeteria lady yelled at me, and she's like, "I am not a guy. Aren't you an English major?" And I'm like, but I keep thinking about how this is a women in leadership podcast, and as women, we are not supposed to be ourselves. And there's no commercial out there aimed towards women where it's like, you smell bad, you have too much hair, you aren't pretty enough, so wear all this stuff. There is not anything marketed to us, or hasn't been. There are a few things now, but we are absolutely in the most challenging place of not being able to trust our first instinct. That is
how wild is that we as women have trouble trusting our own instincts because of all the marketing and all the crap
everything that's out in
at
front
us,
of our
telling us
faces
how
all
we're
the time.
supposed to be women.
100%.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay. I have one more question before we move on. Which of your habits or behaviors are due to nature, genetic, acting the way your parents acted when they were your age, and which are due to nurture based on life experience? I would have to say that a lot of my habits or behaviors previously, and my outlook on life and toward people and beliefs was because of how I was raised. You know, I have a very conservative farming type family, pro 2A, you know, not, as I've come to find out, I didn't realize this when I was younger, but I think their point of view and their perceptions have changed over time. They're not as anti-LGBTQ as I thought they once were, because, you know, they were like super conservatives. And so much of my thought process now and how I love and care on people now is because of that life experience. I've been through a lot of crap in my life, lots. And we all have. And being able to learn and grow from those experiences has been a huge turning point in my life. What about you guys?
Yeah, I can see that, you know, some of the more so like the mannerisms that maybe how I handle, like I see as myself as a parent, you know, like I don't do all that they do or that to that degree, but you know, maybe yelling at my kids more than I've cared to ever be a yeller as a mother. But I grew up with a certain way and a certain way of handling them. And I'm like, I try to stop myself and doing different things different way. I think my line of thinking has always been a lot different than them. I just got into a conversation with my mother about stuff like this that we saw very differently. And it's generational, you know, and I get that. And it goes back to how they were raised. And it goes so on from there about, again, putting this is the way things are, period, you know. And we're a generation that we're fortunate enough to look outside of that and then teach our kids that as well. That no, that's not how it is. You know, there's all of
one
this,
thing I have
you know?
noticed with our generation, and most of us, you know, have kids at this point, and our kids are getting older, or maybe we have little kids, but like in this world we live in, it's like all of a sudden it's okay to have to change your point of view in a more positive direction.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's really cool. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah. Thank you.
Melinda?
You're on mute.
You're on mute still, hon.
Sorry.
And then before you say too much, I can tell
every
you.
once in a while, she just is like, oh, I'm trying to think of the right way to. So I come from a super conservative Republican town with a super conservative Republican family. And so when I turned 18, I registered as a Democrat. And I can't claim anybody on any side anymore. It just makes no sense to me. But definitely I will relate to you, Angela, in the sense that I yell like my mom. Maybe not as much. But I'm a yeller, and I definitely was more of a yeller with my daughters than I am with my boys because there was 10 years difference and I got to grow up. So I think that how I handle parenting is more similar to my mom, but it's definitely a morph. Like I'm not as scared of everything as my mom was, but I am scared of things. Like I'm scared of the river. I'm scared of strangers with my children. All children, doesn't matter. They can be 30, doesn't matter to me. All strangers. I'm paranoid like my mom. But you know, my physical being and the way I like maybe present to the world now is more just me. My mom always dressed nicely when she left the house. She would never be caught dead, not perfect. She was perfect. And I'm not that way. I try to present to the world as myself. So that is something of like would that be a nurtured creation then on my own? I don't know. I think nature versus nurture is interesting. Yeah.
What
Like,
makes you feel good?
my
Mhm.
ADHD is definitely a culmination of in this particular body, and the way the world is to me.
Mhm.
It's definitely something that I've learned is not just from one thing or the other, it's a culmination. So I don't know, those are just the things that kind of popped up in my head while we were thinking about that question. I don't know if there's just one specific thing, one way or the other, but a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
things,
why we're
yeah.
not all carbon copies, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's another good point that you brought up about fear, though, because that's another one that people had fear of things
Right.
for no reason. You know,
No reason at all.
just because assumptions, you know, of saying things and
Yes.
you know, worrying about things that aren't there, you know, and yeah, totally. When you said that, I was like, yes, that's yeah.
My mom is
Yeah, but your
afraid of
feelings and your fear
disabled
is
people.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you can
Yeah,
have
my
fears,
mom's
or
fear
you
wasn't valid.
can be dressed to the nine when you leave the house. Like, I mean, the way you me, but this is me. Like, this is how I walk out the house. But that's
Yeah,
because, but I'm not doing it for other people. Where back then they
right.
used to do that because everybody else was looking, you know,
Yes.
not doing it for
Yes.
themselves, you know, like you can do it for yourself if that's what makes you happy,
Yeah.
but don't if it doesn't make you happy. And that's okay too, you know?
Yeah, and I guess that's the decision that
Yeah.
differentiates us from our parents,
Yeah.
especially.
30,
How old are you,
39.
Angela? I don't remember.
Mhm.
39. Okay. I'm 44. Charlie, how old are you?
38. I'm the baby.
38. Okay.
38.
We're close enough.
We're all within the same generation
Close
now,
enough
really.
to all
Yeah,
have
yeah, for
parents
sure.
that were in that era. For
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay, so continuing on with our Women in Business podcast, we've had a lot of deep thought here, but we are also here for business. My business, Warrior Yoga. I have classes on Monday and Wednesday nights at the Viking Hall through the end of the month. And then starting in October, we're going virtual on Wednesday nights only.
Cool.
Due to the current political climate and mandates and things like that, it's been really hard for people to go to in-person classes, and I get that. There's safety issues, there's all kinds of issues with that. So going virtual allows people to join in from the comfort and safety of their own home. So we're going to be doing that beginning in October. You can check out the Facebook page for more info at Warrior Yoga Stanwood. Shoot me a message on my Facebook page, Charlene Hoffman, or on the Warrior Yoga Facebook page, or even the podcast page. You know, if you have a question, feel free to ask, throw it out there. If you have a comment or something that maybe you would like to see in the podcast, let us know. I'm open to growth, and I'm open to ideas. So anyway, so that is what is going on as far as class info and upcoming events for me. Please check out our podcast, Facebook page, follow, all that good stuff. It's going to be shared on Instagram and all that. Tune in every Friday. We will figure out all the technical difficulties as we learn and grow. And next up is Melinda introducing the October Company.
Okay. So I am part owner of the October Company, which is a family-owned brokerage for insurance. We do health and life, voluntary insurance, like specific accident, critical illness, cancer coverage. We do all kinds of insurance that is about your everyday stuff that gets you money back in your pocket in case something happens to you. So one of the things that we're focusing on right now is life insurance and then critical illness in the month of October. We have juvenile life insurance that we actually have a couple different places that we're utilizing for that are brand new to us. So I'm really excited about that. There's different options that we haven't had before. And one of the things that we really, I'm so sorry, come here, leave the dog alone. One of the things that we've really strived for is to offer things that most other people don't. When we worked just in the voluntary market, we got to go to 100 businesses a month and say, hey, we can do one thing for you. But that was really sad when we couldn't do everything else. So now we can do almost everything else, and we can help people that have had a positive HIV diagnosis. We can help people that have had multiple heart attacks. We can help so many people that we were not in a field or position to help before. So our main mission with the October Company, or October Provisions LLC, is to help all the people that we couldn't help before and provide value to as many people and as many families in our community as possible.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And then the contact information for October Co. What's
What is that? Well, you can reach me at melinda@theoctoberco.com or on our Facebook page for the October Company. I will actually put it in our bio so that we have everything linked up properly, or you can reach out to me by phone at 425-361-6078.
awesome. Thank you, Melinda. And
Thank you.
Angela is going to talk about her business. Angela?
Yes, thank you. So I am a health and wellness ambassador with Bio. It is a fully water soluble health and wellness company. They have anything from CBD to things to help with sleep, with weight loss aids, energy, immune support, all at a delivery system that has never been done before. It is a rapid cell technology that all of our products use, which is what stands us apart from everything else out there. I've tried many different supplements over the years. When I started this journey with Bio, I was suffering very badly with just chronic aches, discomfort every day, had very low moods, low energy. I was barely functioning. And as a single mom, that couldn't happen. My kids 100% rely on me. So I had to do something else. I had to find something, and these products were introduced to me, and they changed the game. They changed my life. No exaggeration. I was never able to function most days. I get my kids off to school. I would lay around. I would sleep. I would get up right before they used to get home. And it's just been incredible. And the more I got, I felt the difference first and foremost, and I was sold. When I felt something so different from anything else that I tried before, I knew that this was something, that people had to know about. And I wanted to share with others that I knew were suffering. And the more and more I got into it, and the more I really understood and learned about bioavailability and how important that is, absorption. I mean, things that we don't even think about when we're just putting something in our mouth, and really the process that goes through. I was taking between prescription and supplements, because I've always kind of been more natural anyway, as much as I could be, but I was taking like 20 capsules in it.
Wow.
Try to help me with all of them, not really finding relief. It was, I had in my 30s a pill box of morning, afternoon, night, just to try to, and I could always forget them. And they were always, I hated taking them. And they weren't making me feel any better. Like, I just felt lousy all the time. Like, well, what is the point of this? I'm spending, and I had only 2 prescription medications, but I had a slew of supplements I was taking. I was taking 3 different ones to help lower my, migraines that I was suffering from at a time, not really finding much relief. There was just so much stuff. So where this, I'm taking a few different supplements now, but in a different kind of delivery system that's hitting my cells immediately, that it's not having to go through my digestive system. And you can feel it. I mean, you can really feel the difference. And it's really helped me a lot. And so I started with something that was helping my aches, discomfort, just to kind of get my body moving. And then I went from there. I started thinking, find something to help me with energy. And we have things to help in weight loss aids, which is something I'm going to talk about with you, one of our products today about. It is a product that is called Keto. Now, most people associate keto with a keto diet, meaning low carb or, no carbs, no sugar. And that's not what this is. So this is not something where you have to be on a low carb diet or no carbs or anything like that. what keto really is actually, or, ketosis. It's a metabolic state. Had always had to do to get their body in ketosis and force it there. And it was a lot of work to get your body in ketosis, where this product is an aid that kind of helps you get your body there naturally, because it is just that metabolic state. It's just getting your body in that high fat burning mode. And, for me, I've tried different things over the years. I've always struggled with my weight. I never found anything that really helped. It all goes back to diet and exercise. Of course, you have to be eating right. You have to be exercising and keeping active. But, sometimes when you have a low metabolism, it just makes it that much harder. So to find something that really could help just boost that a little bit, especially as you age, it gets harder, all the things, where this puts your body there naturally. It's not forcing your body, it's doing what your body is actually supposed to do. And that's what all of our products do. It's not really adding extra stuff to your body. It's just putting those natural ingredients in there at the most natural delivery system you can have, which is water, and having your body work the way it's supposed to, which has also just been mind-blowing. This also has an ingredient in it that helps block the sugar receptors on your tongue. So, I don't know about anybody else, but my biggest problem of losing weight and not eating the bad things is keeping them out of my mouth. Like you
Sweet
crave
tooth,
them, right? You
right?
want them. Or two, the more you crave it, the more you want it. So this blocks that on your tongue. So you can mix a scoop of this. It dissolves fully into water, and or you can mix it in something else. People mix it in their coffee. I do that all the time, and drink it. And you take it once a day. Some people take it twice, and it actually blocks those sugar receptors. So you're craving them less. A lot of people, if they have them, they don't even taste as good to them that they had before. So it's been a game changer for our business and our company, just of helping so many people that finally get over those hurdles of weight problems. It helps regulate blood sugars. It's helped a lot of people, get that under control, where they can really, get on that. Paired with this product, we have another product called Hydrate, and it's part of our Bio Reset. Our company as a whole and a lot of our customers have been part of doing our resets, where it's a 60-hour assisted cleanse. And it's just kind of rebooting and restarting that metabolic state every month. Well, we usually do it about once a month. Some people do it twice a month. People have had amazing results on it. I have lost 13 pounds between 2 resets within, I think, 5 weeks of each other, kept it off. I've gotten a little off track from it now. I've been a little busy, moving, craziness. So I'm working on getting back on track. Kids are in school, all the things, but I'm walking every day to take my kids to school. So that's helping with get my exercise in. But yeah, it's been and want the things. But this is making it where I'm not even craving those things. It's keeping me full longer. I mean, you would think also through a reset, it's not an actual fast, because this does have some calories in it. So you're still getting some nutrients, but it's more of an assisted cleanse, and it's been amazing. I mean, how good I feel through it. I mean, not eating for, 60 hours, you would think you would feel like crud, but you don't. You're getting your electrolytes and the hydrates, so you're keeping that up through it. And it's been amazing. It's been had some amazing results. And like I said, with all of our products, having that delivery system is just, it's a game changer. It's really has changed. We have a brand new product that's launching tomorrow. We have an event going on, and I can get you, I'll have the information for that as well posted in the group. With, again, this is something, a little teaser. I can't give anything out. It's going to be announced tomorrow morning, but it's something that's also never been done in this way because of our technology. But it's something everybody can use at any kind of, wherever you are in your health goals,
Ooh. Well, I'm excited to hear about that new
or
product.
even
For sure.
losing weight on it, but it's not a weight loss product.
Nice.
Yeah. So
All
I will
right.
have all the information. You can contact me at Angela Wallace on Facebook and message me, and then I'll have the contact information for the information for the event as well tomorrow. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Angela, for sharing. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad that you all were able to join us today and co-host with me. Thank you, as we send happy thoughts and vibes to Heather this week. Hopefully she will be back next week. So thank you for joining us on our podcast. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, the October Company, Warrior Yoga, Heather Ross Wellness, and Bio, and Angela Wallace with Bio. So thank you for joining us in our podcast this week on women in leadership, body, mind, soul, and business. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay. So